Alrighty, this is documentation regarding the entity that is monitoring. Yeah, crossing path as soon as I start recording again. 94971H4. These are demons. And this whole street is. And what the previous, I'm glad he did that because the old white male that was gang stalking in the white pickup truck, this is in video that this entity, by monitoring, affecting this device, while the fake sun is over me, right here, over me. They're engaging in surveillance on this street where all the people of the state are gang stalking as well. This is criminal surveillance, not criminal surveillance that's underway inside of any private property. None of this is private property. None of the people of the state live in private property, okay? They're not engaged in any private activity. But a white male engaging in surveillance at the end of the street, and as I reference license plate 70649 George 3, gang stalking me, crossing path right here at 668 West Ladini Drive. And then as I refer to that license plate, this demon that was at the end of the street, I'm going to document down there. I'm about to get all these license plates right now. But I want to refer to this evidence while the entities engage in this monitoring on my device in furtherance of what is murdering me. You're trying to obstruct justice while you're seeking to monitor the evidence, destroy it. And that's so that you can continue stalking me in furtherance of murdering me. That's an unlawful threat, and that is the basis of prison. This is where Southwest Airlines, the moment that my phone was disabled, flew right here over this street. This is Ladini and San Antonio. This is, again, the entity that evolves farther and farther and farther away. That's proven through stalking me, by the way, on the sidewalk in Pomona, California at Ramona and Holt Avenue. This is the entity that's engaged, that's in Montclair, California. Also stalking me by UPS flying over my head in Pomona, California, where the entity is keeping that fake sun. But I want to be clear, this is what the entity is doing on this street while I'm using my device, documenting, and they're stalking in the path. This is surveillance while they're tracking my steps. They're on the streets in their vehicles. They're coming out on their front lawn while the demons are crossing paths, stalking in their vehicles. A short Asian female is walking on this street, stalking she's walking in step with the vehicle that was driving. They were pacing. They were pacing together at Ladini and San Antonio while Southwest Airlines is crossing path, and a demon was engaged in surveillance at the end of the street on this right side over here with their foot on the brake. And the moment that I refer to them, I face them, the demon makes a U-turn and comes past me. As he drives past me, my phone is disabled. This is monitoring. In the engineer light, this is the significance of that. The entity is affecting my device, so that video stopped in its track, it froze, and it disappeared on my phone. This is a criminal activity that they're all sharing in, and this is relevant to the discussion that I had before my other phone battery went out, which is when Southwest Airlines, this is the opportunity, and then they flew over. And all of that is what precipitated from that. The entities engaging in that which is exceeding emotional distress, and I'm going to continue expounding upon that on the podcast when I'm talking about the terrorism that the people of the state that are demon-possessed, engaging in psychological torture, are engaging. It exceeds intentional infliction of emotional distress. This is why I am advocating regarding SIIS federal legislation, systematic infliction of inhumane suffering, which is taking into account the fact that an American citizen is being targeted by an entire population, such as everybody that's living in all of these homes on Le DENEY, and the government, the city of Ontario, is stalking with planes. The population is stalking while they're driving north and south on San Antonio. They're also stalking you with light, wanting to touch you, because it's not enough that they're stalking. They also want to affect you by touching you with that which is supernaturally occurring. And this is relevant to what is psychologically harmful as well, and in addition to the fact that the entity is defaming your character and also seeking to defame your character in order to accomplish what is kidnapping you and ultimately murdering you. This is the criminal activity that the city police are sharing in while you document anybody of the people of the state that are gang stalking. 7PJW023. This is P.O.C. I'm going to capture license plates about this federal crime that the entity is engaging in the neighborhood where the fake sun exceeds beyond Euclid Avenue. Not today. It's over here at San Antonio where they're gang stalking inside of facilitating venues, not private residences, and doing so while monitoring on my device, and there's no warrant or probable cause to engage in that. Okay, 70649 George 3. That's the license plate of the predator, the sex offender stalking me on this street. POC. That is 6 Frank Uncle Wendy 894. Since 9 Henry Jerry Xavier 723. Nancy Apple Edward Star Bob Robert Indiana with a United States Army license plate frame. These are demons that are engaging in criminal activity here, and many of the mentally ill that are demons are associated with the U.S. military that have been engaged in what is gang stalking me, and these are demons that are specializing in the demonic conduct of psychological torture. It's demonic. The entity that is engaging in acts of war against American citizens, i.e. domestic terrorism. those that are in the military, veterans that are engaging in what are attacking American citizens. License 5 Paul Larry Robert 701. 6 Mary Frank Yolanda 359. License 8 Zebra 68391. Where the old white man looks like he would be affiliated with military, but I don't have any, none of my observations see that, but I was just observing him. He looks like someone that's associated with the military. He was parked right here in front of this vehicle with his foot on the brake, and the moment that I refer to him, he makes a U-turn and goes up the street and crosses path with me, and that's when my phone disables. He was monitoring. He knew who I was. He was sitting here engaging in surveillance like the rest of them are, lying in wait, while the evidence of them tracking my steps is right here, gang stalking me, and then engaging what is obstruction of justice, and they're all in their homes gang stalking as well. And this is what you're going to document because it's the government that's doing so where they live, just like they are at the grocery store, at the movie theater, at the shopping mall, at the gas station, on the roads and the highways. 8 SRT 755. 8 Frank Victor Thomas 846. Okay, I may or may not read all the license plates, so if you're listening by podcast, you're not necessarily going to gather documentation from every license plate documented. So the video evidence is most effective for getting license plate information, what I'm documenting. 14738 Nancy 2. 5 Sam Mary 555. 7 Zebra Edward Xavier 317. All right, this street led DENEY, this neighborhood at San Antonio and La DENEY, and as I'm walking north of San Antonio, they all share in what is monitoring on my device. 30607 Windy 3. They all share in what is obstructing justice by interfering with the operation of my device, that which the government has no right under any circumstances. A warrant to search your phone is not a warrant to engage in what is obstructing your ability to use your phone, especially when the criminal is the government and you're using it to document them. Moreover, that doesn't exist. Such resources, such tools do not exist, what the government is doing through the people of the state. Okay? The fake sun is over me, so everything that you hear is pursuant to monitoring. Everyone that you see is engaged in monitoring. 9 Apple Charlie 614. This is P.O.C. They're not private properties. And regardless of how long they've been here engaging in what is painting, guess what? They're monitoring. They're monitoring. That's what they're doing right now, and that's exactly what they're going to be prosecuted for. All right? That's the pattern of conduct. This is why the specific environment is following me. Hence, you are following me. And that's how the demon-possessed thought that they had the most genius plan ever to falsely depict someone's character that they are targeting. And it's not genius. It's demonic. It's out of hell. Okay? And because of that, and because it's the government, you're talking about unprecedented bases of recovery. 12550 Bob 3, gang stalking with the government. That only provides evidence against them. Everybody on this street, if you were doubting what it is I just said, it is confirmed while the entity is stalking by planes in perfect alignment with me at 625 West La DENEY. Okay, license plate 12550 Bob 3 is indeed gang stalking me at 632 West La DENEY. Gang stalking in furtherance of murdering me with the U.S. government. Doing so, cloaking themselves as private citizens. They are not. These are homegrown terrorists. These are enemies of this country and enemies of American citizens. And they're engaged in criminal activity and they know it. And they're very hostile while they're being exposed. All right? This is a matter of what is defunding terrorism, by the way. 37706 Robert 2. P.O.C. 7 Zebra Xavier Sam 329. 9 Jerry Uncle Jerry 752. At 644 West La DENEY in Ontario. The last plane, Southwest Airlines, didn't do a cartwheel, but you're seeing where they did a cartwheel, even though this phone is poor quality. But they're flying in alignment, getting up to where the position of my person at, I believe that was 625 West La DENEY, and then that's where they're making a cartwheel. They're engaged in psychopathic pacing, flying up to where my person is located, doing the cartwheel right there in alignment with me, and going back in the opposite direction, stalking. While I'm at this location at the mouth of the intersection, Southwest Airlines proceeds to fly across, crossing path. 7 Zebra David 374. 9 Wendy Frank Thomas 996. 8 Xavier Bob Charlie 745. And while the government is stalking by planes, the neighborhood is stalking you. While the government is stalking by helicopters, by a police department, the neighborhood is stalking you. The neighborhood that is stalking you is going to be prosecuted as a violent sex offender seeking to engage in what is murdering someone as a mob. They're terrorists. This is 668 West La Denis. And I want to be clear, there is a short, about 5'2", Asian female, black hair. She's out taking a walk right now. She's gang stalking me while she's doing so. She lives on this street. She's a violent sex offender, probably attends one of the local gang stalking churches. She's a demon, probably working for the student council, and needs to be known as a vagina monitor. I'm going to prosecute her. I've identified her by virtue of the neighborhood and all the license plates and everyone else around. The entity's engaging in what is gang stalking, and that predator went about through the neighborhood, engaging in the pattern of conduct and doing so with the U.S. government. And she represents what's an entity full of what are predators that are gang stalking. P.O.C. Sam Jerry 881. I'm going to continue my discussion regarding psychological torture that is distinct from intentional infliction of emotional distress. P.O.C.